Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic Way YouTube channel, Twitter page, and Facebook page as well. That's where we're going live from. Welcome to Kilmarnock v Celtic, a lineup reaction and match preview. My name is Ryan McGinley. Today, I'm delighted to be joined live from Rugby Park by Tony Haggerty. Tony, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm at the back of the cold press box at Rugby Park. As you can see, I'm in position and looking forward to hopefully another good game of football from Celtic.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, just on the right-hand side, we've got the team as well as the subs. The subs are on the bottom of the screen, just running along the line in the ticker tape below. So I'll just read out the team. So it's Joe Hart in goals, a defensive Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, Nat Phillips comes in for Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnson. Midfield stays the same, which is Tomoki Iwata in the number 6 role, Cal McGregor just in front of him, and then Matt O'Reilly in the number 10. And then the front three is Palmer and Johnston, who are supplying O up front. Tony, what's your instant reaction to that team? What do you make of that team that's been named by Brendan Rodgers for this game at Rugby Park this afternoon?
My instant reaction is you get 11, I get 10, because I put Forrest in for Johnston. But I did speak on Monday and sort of said that, or after Wednesday, Thursday it was, said that Cameron Carter-Vickers was the only one that probably doubtful. You wouldn't be changing too much, but I thought the way he spoke about Johnson that he might not include him and saying he had to do more and might have put James Forrest in, but he didn't. So he's gone with the same team, more or less. Cameron Carter-Vickers being the exception. So I guess the scan came back with something, or maybe he did get the all clear, but they weren't prepared to risk him, Ryan, on that surface. I can understand that. So that seems a logical swap, doesn't it? And you trust the guys who did the job so emphatically against Hibernian in midweek to go and do it again, don't you?
Yeah, and to be honest, I've seen a lot of people online worried about Nat Phillips. Listen, this is a guy that's played for Liverpool in the Champions League. I'm sure that he can handle himself well. I know that he did not have the best game when he came on last time around against Hibs on Wednesday night, but at the same time, he was coming off the bench. This is a game for him to start. He'll need to get stuck in. He'll need to win headers. He'll need to make sure he's good on possession and not do anything silly. I just want to bring it back to sort of Nat Phillips in particular. What's your makings of him being in the team? It's one of his first starts for the club, I believe. So, what are you expecting from him today, or what do you want him to do today on that plastic pitch?
Wednesday's in the bin, right? Wednesday's gone, done and dusted. Celtic won, right? He might not have played great, or from what he showed on Wednesday, but that's finished. The manager will have got his head straight and said to him, right, you're playing. Get your head in the right place for this. And as you say, I want him to be dominant, win his headers, and just be accomplished at the back. Don't do anything silly. You're not asking him to do anything that's alien to his nature. You're just asking him to defend, to keep the ball away from Celtic's goal. So, and as you say, he's trained with a lot of top professionals with Liverpool. He knows what he's doing. So I'll allow him that blip on Wednesday night. Sometimes it's hard to come into a game, isn't it? And get a feel for it. And let's be honest, Hibs scored a consolation goal and Celtic were 4-0 up. Could he have done better? Of course he could, but that game's finished. So it's all about this one. Can't afford to dwell on that, Ryan. As I say, he has to just puff his chest out, get his head up and say, right, let's have it today. And I'm sure he will. I'm sure the manager will have got him up for it and he'll get himself up for it. So I have no qualms about Nat Phillips being there. I think people are maybe nitpicking about what happened the other night. But as I say, I'm okay with that when you're 4-0 up. Had it been a costly goal, then I'd have had more to say about it. It's not ideal giving away a goal because you want to keep clean sheets. I know you're big in clean sheets. Joe Hart would have been big in a clean sheet the other night. But I can live with that as long as it doesn't become frequent. As I say, he's got his chance today, so just go in there and take it. No messing about. Just be a no-nonsense, solid defender today.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people as well online are calling for Nawrocki to be starting this game. For me, I couldn't think of a worse game personally for him to start his first game back since picking up an injury on the same ground in the League Cup. You've got to safeguard your players. I don't think Nat Phillips is going to be here in January, I'll be perfectly honest. Nawrocki will be. He's on a 5-year deal, so you've got to safeguard your assets in that regard as well. I'm fine with him being on the bench today and coming on if needed. See if Celtic get a couple of goals up, then by all means bring Nawrocki on, because I think he's got to be a starter in the next few weeks and months, to justify the price tag that Celtic have paid for him. Just going away from the defence for a minute into the midfield, I don't know about you, it's great to see Iwata's been kept in that side. Brendan Rodgers might have changed it. He might have brought in a David Turnbull, due to the plastic patch of Paulo Bernardo, although we only seem to see him in Europe, it seems. Or any other player, Rodin Thiago Home. I know he started the last game at Rugby Park, but it's so good to see Iwata get his second chance in 3 days. And let's hope he can build upon his good performance in midweek and become a mainstay in the team.
Brian, that part of your football team wasn't broke, so it didn't need fixed. And in fact, everybody was purring about that selection on Wednesday night, weren't they? And Iwata, O'Reilly and McGregor. Manager called O'Reilly graceful. Callum McGregor got further forward, influenced play a lot, and Iwata was excellent. He picked him up as well, and it's what Celtic fans have been calling out for a long time. They got their wish, and Celtic turned on a bit of style on Wednesday night. So, as you were, you just say to those guys, pick up the cudgels from Wednesday, do the exact same thing, because you were very, very good, and Iwata covered himself in glory, and you couldn't, as I say, you run the risk of demoralising guys when you constantly put them in and out the team. And the only reason I left Johnston out my team was because of the way the manager spoke about him, as I said, so that's fair enough. But Iwata, O'Reilly and McGregor, for me, were stick-ons to start this game, and fully deserved to start this game. And the goal machine that is Matt O'Reilly, here's hoping he can get forward and score another. But Iwata, it was seamless. Iwata just coming in there and being in that midfield six, and kind of him and Callum McGregor kind of interchanging at times. So I love that about Wednesday. It's one of the things I really did like about Wednesday night, and I think if they can continue that today, then I think they'll give Kilmarnock a hard time. I think it'll be a hard game, but I think those guys will have a big influence on proceedings.
Yeah, it always sounds a bit better when you're talking about Celtic and you've got Jump in the background as well.
A bit of Van Halen, you can't beat that. I came up earlier and it was blaring, so I'm glad he's turned it down a wee bit. But yeah, you can't get a bit of that, yeah.
It adds to it a wee bit. I don't know if you're the new frontsman or something, but just looking at the team, I think we're just going to go from front to back, to be honest with you. You look at O'Reilly and you look at Palmer. I know McGregor will be playing in that higher number 8 role, which is good. Always good to see. He seemed to be... He took it like a duck to water on Wednesday night. It's if he went back to what he knew, or what he knew previously, and that pass to O in particular. I know there was a bit of debate on the morning briefings as to whether or not it was meant for O or not. The fact is, it got there, and it was a big part in the... What was it? The fourth goal of the night? I think that was the last goal of the night. It was the goal to make it 4-0. Just looking at O'Reilly and Palmer specifically, 27 goal contributions in all competitions this season. You would assume that a goal is going to be either provided or made by one of these two players if a goal comes today, whether that be a goal for themselves or an assist to somebody else on the park, maybe even assisting themselves, Palmer to O'Reilly, O'Reilly to Palmer. They are the two contributors, aren't they? And they're going to be so important this afternoon.
Here's a challenge. See the manager knows that, and he will know that before they go out in the park. Say to those two guys, can you make it 30 by the end of today?
Mm-hmm.
Give them a personal kind of goal to aim for, and see what happens. We spoke about Callum McGregor's pass now. Hamish wasn't sure if he meant it, but it was certainly a defence splitting ball into a channel where he expected one of the two guys to run onto that, the winger or your striker. The striker running on and the wee nudge, we spoke at length how that was great, but that takes everybody out. And, and if players are latched on and switched on, they will latch onto that, which O did. Brilliant striker playing that. I thought it was a really intelligent ball by Callum McGregor, and I thought he meant it. He definitely meant it. It wasn't just a hit hope, it's the way he bent it round, Brian. So one of the two of them were getting on the end of it, because he knew that, because he had a quick glance before he did it. And so that marks out, players with talent, and Callum McGregor certainly got that. And I think Celtic supporters feel a bit more comforted when he's in that number 8 role, don't they? Because he's got a dig in him as well. He can hit the ball from like the half volley that he did against St Johnstone last week. And Iwata, I thought Iwata was a composure about Iwata, which had been missing in previous games, and he brought that kind of calm effectiveness. Just everything that he did, even the balls that he sprayed out wide, it's with a minimum of fuss. So that part of the side is really functioning. And Palmer and I just expect to cause havoc. I see some comments here about Mikey Johnston, last chance saloon and all that. And, if the manager's telling you need more, Celtic need more, Mikey. You've got to produce. So you've got the benefit of the doubt today because you could have rotated you. So go and show why. And then the way he spoke about him on Friday, I'm saying he's a natural talent and one of the best one-on-one guys and one of the best to come through the academy. Mm-hmm. Mikey's been that ever since he broke into the Celtic first team. Celtic supporters are still waiting for that to manifest itself, aren't they? They're not being too hard on him because he has been this promising talent for so many years. And whenever he's got his chance, he's failed to deliver. He's turned up in fits and starts. I've never come away from a game and said Mikey Johnston was the man.
I know.
I came away from a game and said he did okay. He had an effect, like last week. But I've never come away from a football match that Mikey Johnston started and said he's the man. Not like not like Palmer, not like Iwata. And I want it for Mikey Johnston. I really do. But my eyes don't deceive me. I kind of know what I'm watching with Mikey Johnston, and it worries me that what the manager sees in training, and he bases a lot of what he sees in training, is not the Mikey Johnston it takes to the football field with Celtic. And he's had so many chances to be that player. And you just say to yourself, Mikey, you need to help yourself now. It's that time. You have to produce.
24 years old now. Yeah, he's not getting any younger. Still a young player in terms of his football career, but he's not a youngster anymore. He can't get away with dropping below par performances. He can't just be a sub. He's got to be able to influence games from the start. This is a great chance for him to do that. He'll train on these pitches as well, these plastic pitches. I'm sure there's one at Lennoxtown that is of this surface.
Yeah.
So if he treats it, maybe if he doesn't treat it like every other game, he treats it like a kickabout, and he takes on those 1v1s, then he'll be okay on the day. But I don't want to get into the last chance saloon sort of argument, because I feel like that's putting too much pressure onto a player like Mikey Johnston, and it's clear that if you put too much pressure on a player like him, he's going to crack under that pressure. He hasn't done it beforehand, and that's not a good way to start off things. But I think if Mikey Johnston can put in a good performance today, as I've spoke about, it was an up and down performance on Wednesday. I thought he did well for the first goal, in which he won the corner early on in the game, but there was too many times that he tried to beat his man, and then he needed confirmation and he had to beat his man again and again and again. There's no point. Once you've beaten once, just put the ball into the box, and his deliveries can be hit and miss, but you're hoping that it can be more hit and miss today, and he can really cement that place, because Yang's back on the bench today. It's good to see him back. I'm glad that he wasn't bombed out of the squad for too long, so he can come on and potentially make an impact if it isn't working with Mikey Johnston. But with players like Leila Abada and Daisen Maeda coming back, with every game that passes, they're closer to returning. They're first team players for Celtic. They are the players that they are the measuring post or the measuring stick that Mikey Johnston has got to compare himself to, and he's got to get to those levels. One thing that those two players will give you more often than not is consistency in their game. If Mikey Johnston can do that, then he can be a player in this team. But as much as I don't want to get in the last chance saloon, it is one of those last chances in terms of a starting spot before those players return.
Yeah. The word you were looking for there, Ryan, was yardstick, I think. And
that's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah. And Mikey's got a bit to go, hasn't he? Before he even reaches that yardstick of being a permanent player like Daisen Maeda or Leila Abada. You should watch these guys and just say, right, and Palmer, see, okay, what are they doing? What do they do that make them automatic picks in this team? And it's big, isn't it? It's a big ask for him, because you see he's 24, he's not getting any younger. And I hate things like last chance saloons and all that kind of stuff as well. And then people say it's a lazy comment to say he's no end product. But you're watching it, aren't you? You're watching a guy who can beat a player lovely, and then Juicy has to over-elaborate, wants to do it again. And, how many times have you seen him cut in do beat a guy really easily and then sky it. You know, when he's trying to curl it, and you know his intention, but it never ever seems to come off. And these things frustrate the living daylights out of fellow professional teammates, managers, and fans alike. And I don't think there's a shortage of talent and skill with Mikey Johnston, but for some reason, when he takes to the field as a Celtic player, it never ever clicks. Everything never clicks into gear, does it? And I think, as you say, it's another opportunity for him. But he can't get away with having a performance like last week. He has to really produce. And maybe he's just one of these guys who a confidence player and needs a goal, needs a ball just to drop in front of him. 3 yards from goal, stick it in, and it goes from there. But something has to happen today in terms of Mikey Johnston. He's got to really contribute today, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with everything that you've said. I just want to shout out the fact that we've got 280 people watching live this stream, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining in. We really do appreciate everybody's support and all the comments just coming in. I would pull out some more, but maybe we'll do that in the last 5 minutes. But we're just going to go through the team and talk about them. I'm going to keep this question short and sweet because I can hear the music on in the background. Do you have a good feeling about all starting up top today?
Oh, I've got a good feeling indeed. I think the big man's thriving on it, isn't he? You saw that finish the other night. You know, the first one, he's in the right place at the right time, diverts it into the net. Good strikers in it, as I say. Poacher's goal. Second one was great striker play. That wee nudge, you can't underestimate how good that wee nudge is. Just takes Fish out. I thought Fish was very poor and very soft. But that's what you do. And he stuck it away with aplomb. And I think he was actually disappointed that he wasn't kept on for his hat-trick, wasn't he? I think he would have liked that. But again, I want to see him.
That's the thing. He didn't show it. He was clapping as he came off the pitch. I like that attitude.
And he also was really surprised to get the man in the match award, which was great.
Love
that as well. Aye, tremendous, right? So you say to the big man, listen, you know, that was a great example of striker play. The manager called him the focal point, Ryan. He was everything that was good about Celtic the other night, wasn't he? Link-up play, scoring goals, just being the man. The guy that you want Mikey Johnston to be, the man. That's how you be the man. And he's deserved to start the second game in succession. And I hope he does score another couple and get those confidence levels really surging. Because also I think that will help Kyogo. I'm not saying Kyogo's hit any kind of comfort zone. Celtic are playing a different style and it's maybe not suited them. But it lets Kyogo know, it sends a message out that I've got this jersey, I'm running with it, Kyogo. And I'm going to do what I do best as well and hit the target. And if I keep hitting the target, then I'm going to keep playing. And that means Kyogo's going to have to up his levels too. And when he gets back in, he's going to have to produce. And a Kyogo producing is worth its weight in gold. So I'm really happy with that dynamic right now. And I just like what he brings. He's a good old-fashioned centre forward for me, right? Right, good old-fashioned centre forward. Likes a foul every now and again. Fair enough, most big centre forwards do. But he puts himself about, and he's not just a big target man. There's a lot of skill there, a lot of talent, and he knows where the goal is. So in that moment in time, he's having one of those wee purple patches. So hopefully that can continue today.
Yeah, one of the best performances, as we talked about, was against Hibs just a couple of days ago, and always leading the line for that, causing so many problems for that defence. Will Fish was having an absolute shocker against them. In all honesty, you could insert any fish pun there. I'm not doing fish puns, but they are banned from the podcast after the other day. I just wanted to get everybody's score predictions in the comment section. If you want to give a score prediction, maybe first goal scorer, please get into the comments and we'll try and bring up as many as we can. What are you expecting today from Kilmarnock, Tony? Because they're a team that are very much got their tails up. Last time out they beat Aberdeen at Pittodrie. I know Aberdeen won yesterday, but Aberdeen have been a team that have struggled. Still, it's Pittodrie. It's a difficult place to go to. A really good result for Derek McInnes' side. What are you expecting from Kelly today?
I'm expecting the team to be resolute. I'm expecting much of the same, the way they played in the 1-0 game. They'll try and nick it and then hold on to it. Lots of defending and but they'll be robust, they'll be competitive, and let's not kid yourself. Derek McInnes likes to, be defensive against Celtic. That's the way he sets out his teams. But they will be trying to get that kind of goal in the counter and just have something to hang on to if they can. And they've been doing well of late. I think it was Hamish that pointed out that the last few games have been 1-0, a couple of 0-0s, wasn't it? So they're defending well, aren't they? You can see that. They're keeping some clean sheets and nicking the odd goal here and there and nicking the points. So, this will be a tough test for Celtic today. But I just think after Wednesday night, there seemed to be like a kind of turning point after Wednesday night for Celtic. I really liked the way they played. I liked that midfield shape. I liked the forward setup, the dynamic, and I can see Celtic posing problems today much more than they did back in August. The manager rightfully said Celtic are in a different place. They're in a vastly different place. They've got different personnel in there, Ryan, as well. So I think Celtic can get joy today. Just the way they can play. It'll be tough, but I think it'll be another enjoyable occasion, Ryan, like the other night.
Yeah, fingers crossed that is the case. Just having a wee look at the bench in terms of players that could come on and potentially make a difference for the team. Obviously, we spoke about Nawrocki. Good to see Yang back in the bench, as we've discussed as well. Bernabei's now back in the bench. He's at left back. He's an option. Could probably play left wing as well. Bernardo, Forrest, Ralston. Not the strongest bench, Turnbull there as well, but it's really not the strongest bench. Well, apart from, of course, Kyogo. Can't forget about Kyogo. It's quite weird because it's in numerical order apart from the goalkeeper. So it's Kyogo that's the first one that's mentioned on this one. So that's probably why I missed him out. I would never miss him out in any other instance. Is this a game that potentially maybe Kyogo could thrive upon coming off the bench, especially if maybe O struggles in the game? I know he struggled to score in the last time he was at Rugby Park. Was it 5-1 game or the 4-1 game? I think it was Rocco Vata that put in a really good ball into him, and he missed the target when he should have scored. If O does struggle in the game, and we have seen that in games before that he has struggled to get on the score sheet, could it be a game for Kyogo to come off the bench and show why he's still Celtic's number one striker at the club?
I think it'll certainly be a game for Kyogo to come off the bench if you say if O isn't cutting it, he has one of those kind of games again, or if Celtic are in a commanding position, I would bring O off and let Kyogo on, see if he can get his confidence levels up by netting a goal and doing what he does best. So it can go two ways for me, but I'm not averse to it. I'd like to see what happened the other night. O score a couple of goals and then bring Kyogo on. Because Kyogo missed a couple of chances the other night, didn't he?
He did.
On any other day he would have taken. So I want him to get back in amongst the goals for his confidence levels alone, and just for the fact that it's what he does as a footballer.
If you mute, I'll do some of the score predictions. So thank you to everybody in the comments that is. Cheers. Thank you to everybody in the comments that's got involved with us so far with regard to the score predictions. I'm just going to read them out, Tony, while that guy's speaking. So Thomas Gallagher comes in and says 3-1 Celtic. Edward Moore says 5-0 O. 3-1 Celtic, says Helen McCallum. Matt, first goal scorer, said Thomas, who's coming in with his earlier prediction. 3-0 O. First goal, 2-0 at half time. He's given us the whole thing, John Clements. Hazel Finn says 3-1 McGregor, would take that. 3-1 Celtic O to get the first. Palmer, then O'Reilly. They're always involved. I'm sure it would either be Palmer or O'Reilly to set up O for that first goal as well. 3-1 Celtic O, first goal. John says 2-1 Celtic, similar to last week's game. 5-1 says Maestro. Johnson has to get wide and crosses in. Fingers crossed that's the case. Mikey, first goal. 2-1 Scott McDougall says. 3-0 the Celts. Tam Mac just comes in and says he hates predictions, and we're going to read out as many as we can then. Only joking. Kelly will score, so we'll need 2 or more. I think that Kelly will score in this game as well, but hopefully Celtic can score more than them on the day. I'm sure there's more and more coming in. Shug says 3-0 Celtic, and Nat Phillips header. Tony, what would your score prediction be? I'm gonna hand the reins over to you. What is your score prediction for this afternoon's game?
I'm going to say 3-0. Right, there you go. 3-0.
3-0. I have clean sheet as well. I'll take a clean sheet. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I've just said that Kilmarnock will score in the game. I can't really go again. I'm gonna go 4-1 again. I can see Celtic scoring goals today. I can see Kilmarnock scoring goals. Like good players that can cause a difference and cause problems to Celtic's defence, especially a different defence with Nat Phillips in there. But I just think that Celtic have that firepower to score at will at times. With Palmer coming off the left hand side, Johnston off the right, they've got the firepower and up front, a physical presence. You know, he will enjoy and relish that battle today. It's really loud music from where I'm hearing to you, Tony. So yeah, is there anything else that we need to discuss regarding the team? Do you reckon, or do you think that should do us?
I think we've covered it all, haven't we? I think everybody half an hour to go. Just looking forward to hopefully Celtic reproducing Wednesday nights for them and taking all 3 points and retaining their 8-point lead at the top of the table.
That's what we want. That's what we want. Thank you, everybody that joined us in the comments. There's been so many. I think we had around 320 people on the stream at one point, which is an absolutely incredible number for a pre-match. You know, we're hoping to get that consistently for morning briefings. We've had more than that, but to get that on a pre-match, you know, half an hour before the game is absolutely incredible going. So we thank each and every one of you for joining us. If you do enjoy what we do and you want to support us just that wee bit more, then please hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel and you'll get notifications as to when we go live. We'll be doing a post-match after this, about an hour or so after the game, or maybe a couple of hours after. It depends with regard to press conferences and stuff like that. So if you do if you do subscribe, it will give you notifications as to when we go live, because we will be going live after the game. Can we just thank MPH Group, our sponsors for today's video, as they are for every video, MPH Group and Navien Boilers. Winter's rolling in, winter's already arrived, and if you're thinking of giving your home heating system a boost, MPH has an enticing Navien Winter Boiler Promotion just for you. When you opt for a Navien boiler installation for MPH Boilers, not only are you choosing top tier efficiency, you're also getting a free Navien Internet Controller. This little gadget can crank up your boiler's efficiency to an impressive 98%, and they're covering the first year's service at no added costs. MPH even offer flexible finance options, so gear up for the chill and consider making a smart move with MPH and Navien. All the links are in the description. At the top of the screen, plumbing, heating, kitchens and bathroom work. Look no further than MPH Group. And if you are interested in what we do even more so, then please subscribe to the website at www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. Tony, thank you very much for joining me today.
Pleasure, mate. As you can hear, the music's been cranked up, but so I'll come off. All right,
we'll let MC Haggerty get to his seat and get to his position for the game. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, everybody that's been in the comments. We'll be back after the game to discuss everything that's went on regarding the game at Rugby Park. 12 o'clock kickoff, 25 minutes to kickoff. Let's fingers crossed that Celtic can maintain their 8-point lead at the top of the table. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you after the game.